before you cut someone off, I need you to do this one thing. So keep watching while I tell you what that is. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm the person who thinks we don't cut people off quick enough. I see too many individuals dragging on unhealthy relationships, dragging on situations that you were never truly invested in, trying to make it work with someone you're not really into, that you have no connection with, rationalizing past the red flags. So for so many reasons, people have allowed themselves to stay in a relationship longer than they should. And what happens is, as time goes on, it becomes harder to walk away from that relationship. And then people start sweeping more under the rug, and the damage gets worse. And at some point, inevitably, the relationship completely blows up in their face, it fails, and we're back to doing the cycle all over again because we don't heal from that experience, we don't learn from that experience, and we end up going about life and dating and love the wrong way. All right, so I do feel we have to be quicker to move when we see something's not right. But, and here's a big but, before you cut someone off, you have to approach things properly. So what that one thing is that you need to do before you cut them off is talk to them. My goodness, people, I cannot tell you how many times I have spoken to individuals who cut someone off, never having a real conversation about the issues, never sitting down and fully expressing themselves. I have coached countless couples, divorcees, where the person they divorced didn't even know all the real issues going on, did not have a full understanding, because what people do is, even when some of y'all, and it may be you specifically, talk to that individual, you're not expressing yourself effectively. We have moments where we lash out, where we argue, maybe we send long drawn out texts, all these what I consider very ineffective ways of getting our message across. And we do it in a manner that makes them feel attacked, speaks down to them. And naturally, what people do when they feel attacked is defend themselves. Even when you know you're wrong, if you feel attacked, you are very likely to defend yourself. So coming off in that way is never going to set the stage for that individual to be receptive to what you're saying in that moment. Which is why I'm a huge fan of expressing yourself through a letter versus verbal communication. Because verbally, again, we're not always in tune with how we're coming off. That person can get very defensive, they deflect, we get distracted. There are a host of reasons why the verbal conversations of real issues and feelings doesn't go well, all right? Until we've established a very good, solid way of communicating with each other. Until that point, it may be best to do it via letter, but I'll get into that a whole nother time. Right now, I just want you to focus on the fact that if you're going to cut them off, at least first talk about it. And again, express yourself in a more calm and loving manner. When you do that, you allow the person to be more receptive to what you have to say. And whether that's verbally or through a letter, your tone can still come across. And so you have to be mindful of how you're expressing yourself and letting things out. It doesn't mean don't give the cold, hard truth, but it means be mindful of there's a difference between lashing out and expressing how you feel, all right? And being very honest and saying, this is how you made me feel. This is what I'm concerned about right now. This is what I'm seeing, and I need to know, can this be corrected? Now, some of you may say, I've tried talking to them already. But again, did you do so in an effective manner? Now, if you've had an effective conversation, if you fully express yourself, if they are very clear on what your concern and issue is, and they are unwilling to correct it, or it is not a correctable issue, all right? Then by all means, move along, cut them off, no problem, all right? But there are some situations that can be corrected, and there are some situations that in that conversation, it will become even more clear we are not best for each other. So now let's just let this go. But before I wrap this video up, I have to mention this. And real quick, be sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment below on your thoughts on this. But let me say this. What I noticed, and I expressed to my colleagues before, is that I've noticed where when people are very deeply into someone, and I have to be honest with you, I've seen this much more with women than with men. When you're deeply into that man, I always say the man she loves most has the least room for error. And so I've seen situations where women are willing to go back to the toxic, unhealthy relationship or to the man who's not really best for them. Whereas when the man they're truly in love with the man that they're more into, it is harder to deal with the hurt and pain that comes from whether it be a mistake or their blatant actions or whatever the case may be. And so I've seen situations where the person will run quicker from that situation, but be more willing to try to work it out with the unhealthy relationship. We've got to be very mindful of what's going on in that moment. And are we struggling to work this out or express ourselves with this person because of their unwillingness to work with us, or because we're scared to face certain issues, or we're scared to be vulnerable? Really be honest with yourself about why you aren't expressing yourself with them. Are you projecting a negative outcome and not even giving them a chance to show you how they're really feeling? Because I can give you so many stories of just disconnects between men and women as far as what we thought was going on, what we thought you meant by this. There's so much miscommunication, so we need to be more clear and transparent with each other. Like I said, this is a topic that I can go on and on forever about, but the bottom line is this: before you cut someone off, talk to them. Express yourself effectively. See if the issue can be corrected. Now, there's going to be some situations where you talk to them, they're willing to fix it, and guess what? They're still not the one for you. And that's fine. And I can completely understand if you let go. Not even just understand, I would encourage you to let go. But it would be best for you, not just with that specific situation, but to learn how to properly resolve and address things by always being willing to communicate and express yourself, and to even see where we can go with this issue and what can happen next. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. There will be men who want you, but more importantly is for you to receive the man who values you. And when he's emotionally attracted to you, that value will be there.